There's a lot of gimbals on the market, and it is somehow very hard to choose which one is right for you. Obviously, the size of your camera and lenses and what payload or weight the gimbal can take and still work well is and should be the main reason why you choose particular brand or model. But what if there was a gimbal that can take your smartphone as well as a compact camera or a full-frame mirrorless camera like Sony a7IV? This is Zhiyun Crane-M3, and it can do all that and much more. Looking at its size, it's very easy to presume that it is a gimbal for small cameras. But in all the pictures on Zhiyun website, in manual, and even on the box it comes in, it has got what it looks like Sony a7III camera on it, minus the Sony branding. Full frame camera for sure. It's not much bigger than smartphone gimbals and significantly smaller than the big boys like this Zhiyun Crane-2S. And very often for me this is the biggest problem with full-size gimbals. When I travel for work or when I'm going on vacation, very often it is a hassle to pack and take the full-size gimbal with me. One like this. As soon as I've seen this, I got really excited. This is a solution that a lot of people who like to go light and as minimalist as possible will find very attractive. Okay, so I do like full-frame cameras, and although I occasionally use Sony a6600, I film with Nikon Z6, which I'm filming with now, Lumix S5, and for using on a gimbals until now, my main camera was Sony a7 III and now a7 IV. So I want a smaller gimbal that can handle or possibly handle all of those cameras. The brilliance of this Crane-M3 is not only its size, it is small, but also that the motors are more powerful than anything else on the market, that it is this size. What it means that as long as the camera, well, within reason, can fit on it, it will still work and compensate for the lack of perfect balancing. With all gimbals, you need to balance the camera on. Before you switch it on, you need to balance the camera so it stays in the middle of center of gravity. Usually that means that it stays without any support pointing in any direction without it being on, the whole thing. If this is done correctly and well, the motors will have less work to do to keep it there in the center of gravity and do a better job stabilizing your camera. The size of the frame and the arm and the back will not allow mounting full-frame camera like a7 IV with large lens, or any camera with large or long lens, as there is no room to move it back when the front of the camera is too heavy to balance it in the center of gravity. In a nutshell, you need to use small lenses, common sense. I have used it with a7 IV with this Sigma 35mm f2 and Viltrox 24mm f1.8, which both are small and light enough to not make the camera front heavy. But I had to remove the rubber eyepiece from the camera to make it fit and move freely in the gimbal when used, so it doesn't catch. There's a very short list of lenses and cameras compatible size-wise with this gimbal on Zhiyun website, but it is really just common sense. There's a lot of great small and light primes for Sony or any other brands available to make this work easily with any full-frame camera. The max payload of M3 is... The truth is, I don't really know. Nothing about it in the manual or on Zhiyun website. It almost seems to me like it really is gonna take whatever you can fit on it and somehow half balance it. Even with these small lenses, I struggle to get perfect balance of the pan axis, but it is somehow close and it does not impact the performance. The gimbal just corrects it and works. Features. Combo and Pro kits come with this cool white shoulder bag, which can be used as a backpack as well. Great for storing the gimbal when not in use as well, if it looks too much like a handbag for all of you macho men. Lockable. There's a locks on all the motors axis, so it does not swing around when transporting it. Very easy to balance. Lots of videos about balancing it on YouTube. 1.2 inch touchscreen and very intuitive menu. This white Stormtrooper look. Built-in light. Very cool. This is actually very cool. Maybe not for cinematic filming in a pitch blackness, but superb for when filming interviews or vlogging when there isn't enough light available. This is a bicolor, and brightness and color temperature can be adjusted from the gimbal, and it comes with a set of little magnetic color filters as well you can stick on in front of it. That brings me to the fact that there is an expansion port underneath this handle to which you can attach the microphone module, which is this thing. This thing on the bottom of the gimbal. This simply eliminates the need to plug the mic into the camera directly when you want to record audio on board. This certainly is not always very practical and will most likely pull the camera to one side. This could be useful if you have a mic that is too big or heavy to go on top of the camera, or when maybe recording interviews with handheld shotgun mic. This gimbal comes in different kits, and the Pro kit actually comes with a matching white mic as well. So the microphone plugs into the base, into this socket, and the gimbal plugs into the camera to record audio from the microphone. There are two, if counting the one on the mic expansion base, 1/4-inch threaded holes for attaching accessories like the microphones or monitors to it. There are a bunch of cables included for controlling the cameras from the actual gimbal, stuff like starting and stopping recording and changing basic camera settings. Doesn't work with a7IV yet, but I'm sure that it will with the future updates. It works with a7III. It looks cool and it is very easy to use, even one-handed, if the camera is not too heavy. The value for money, it's not cheap, especially the Pro kit, as it costs as much as the full-size gimbal with all the accessories. But this is different, and you also get the microphone with it, with the Pro kit. It is a gimbal that is a bit more versatile than most, and if you need one gimbal for anything from a phone to full-frame camera, and one that is not much bigger than a bottle of water, then this is a good value for money. One that works well as well, obviously. Conclusion, 100% usable with full-frame cameras with small lenses. But what makes it special and very cool is the small form factor and the fact that it is so versatile. It allows you to mount a smartphone to it as well as the full-frame camera. It is easy to use and it really works well, even when pushed to its limits. The motors will stabilize the camera even if you can't perfectly balance it. Superb gimbal for when traveling, as it will literally fit in a small camera bag with a camera and a couple of lenses. Maybe not small, but medium-sized camera bag. I really like it, and I will be using it when I have to pack light. It gives me an option to get those moving, stable shots, but without taking another heavy and cumbersome piece of kit with me. And this is it from me. I hope this video was in any way helpful or informative. If it was and you liked it, then please give me the thumbs up. Comment below, let me know what you think about this little gimbal, and consider subscribing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.